didn't want to sit on this old concrete hard bit when you could actually use the soil, the natural environment. They were people of the land. And so you're putting this artificial barrier between them and their ancestry, if you like, you know. But it was all well-meaning and good. So, yeah, we kind of balanced that over the long run.
Did you and your friend, did you have much in terms of organised activities, or was it a case of you just went out and made your own fun?
Really, in a country town like that, with your dad working all hours that God sends, you have to make your own time. For a bloke like myself who was really into the country and really enjoyed it, I went out. I was never into a gun or shooting kind of person. It wasn't encouraged in our family at all. A bit of a Shanghai and a slingshot and things like that, but you know, you only merely scare things more than anything else. But I do remember going with a couple of Aboriginal brothers, the Bligh brothers, and they were twins, and very unusual for that in those days. And we used to go out, you know, camping, if you like, you know, out hunting expeditions and stuff like this. And they taught me the business of survival out in the bush. And I do remember, you know, probably as around about a 10-year-old, the age of my son now, where, you know, you're lying down and watching a wild rabbit, you know, sort of almost 2 arms length walk past you at night because you've got the wind in the right direction and you've got all the leaves on and all that, and there's no scent and no smell. And this is brilliant stuff. It's real scouting for boys, I suppose, in those days. And that's the kind of life, you know, I lived, you know, down in the riverbanks and all that sort of stuff, knowing Australian birds, knowing Australian animals, and living outdoors. So I'm very grateful for that, you know, that growing up, that legacy that, you know, I learned and got when I was back there in Corinabri and all my outback towns, you know. In
terms of entertainment, I understand that there were 2 kinds of tents that would come along. There was the Babel tent and the circus tent. Can you tell us a bit about that?
Well, Australia has a great tradition of, you know, with the far-flung, you know, areas, they use tented shows to move around, obviously. So I quickly worked out that there were 2 kinds of tents in Australia, 2 kind of tented shows in Australia. Because of the far-flung areas, and people would travel 150 miles to go and see a show. But the 2 kinds of tents, one was a Bible tent, and the other was a circus tent. And very early on, I worked out that the Bible tent, all the girls, brilliant, looked great, done up to the nines, all smelled of soap. Beautiful. The singing was amazing. But see those circus tents? It was exotic. It was amazing, you know, and there are times I might go a bit romantic on that sort of notion, but at times that the sequins and the rhinestones in the